Hey folks, welcome to my world / Spoonie reviews. I'm actually going to be talking about a non-review related Spoonie issue. Actually, let's just call it a review of society, a review of communication, a review of phones, a review of society and like how it differs for us Spoonies. So I want to just preface this for anybody listening who I know by saying I love you. I obviously think you're awesome because I have you around in my life and vice versa, and no disrespect intended. I'm going to talk about an issue that can be a little prickly with some people, so just wanted to let folks know that there's no offense intended to anybody and that this certainly is not about like one person, or as all of the shows that I do are. Nobody's ever like the subject of the entire show or something, but you know, I really don't do life like that. I kind of come out and tell people if there's a problem, but just FYI, because I know some of my friends and associates and clients listen to my show. So please don't go around thinking, oh my God, she's talking about me. This is a message for me. It's not. Relax. You're fine. I love you. And hopefully you'll love me by the time the show is over. So this particular episode is definitely geared towards Spoonies. However, I really think that this issue can affect anybody. And the issue that we're going to discuss is actually phone fatigue. And not just phone fatigue in general, like, you know, I'm sick of using my phone. It's making me anxious. Like, not just phone fatigue, but like phone call fatigue. Now, I would be really interested in your feedback on this, friends, because if you work in a profession different than mine and you get phone fatigue, I want to hear about it. I want to know what your experiences are. If you don't work, if you're a professional mom, if you're a professional dad, if you're a disabled person, if you work part-time, whatever, I want to know, like, what are your experiences and your feelings about this issue? And I truly do wonder what other people in professions other than coaching and counseling feel about, you know, chit-chat and phone catch-ups and that sort of thing after hours. My friend and I were just talking about this. I have like 2 cousins, 2 best friends, and my mom, and a new friend that I've been spending some time with that are people that I just would never, like, I don't know, I would never feel fatigued around them. But that's not because other people are so fatiguing when I'm talking to them. It's because these are people who definitely, if I go, you know what, I'm just flagging right now. I am exhausted. I'm so sorry. I got to go. That it's not going to be a 20-minute process of, hey, talk to you later. All right, well, one more thing. But what do you think about this? It's going to be, oh, I totally understand. Go take care of yourself. We'll talk later. Boom. That's that. Or if a client calls on the other line, or you know, if somebody has to use the washroom, my friend and I always joke about, you know, just kind of telling people that we're crapping our pants to get them off the phone, like Melissa McCarthy in Spy. I shat my pants, because so many people just take forever and a day to just hang up the darn phone when the conversation is clearly over. And I know that these couple of people in my life won't be offended. They won't, you know, be saving up anger or resentment for later. They're like, yeah, you gotta, you know, you're tired. You gotta use the washroom. Somebody's calling you. Go. We'll talk later. Cool. Bye. Whereas, like I say, other people will want to go, oh, when are we talking? What day are we meeting up again? Or what time? It's like, geez, you could text me any of this. I've got to go. And I feel rude when I end conversations abruptly, because I can be abrupt, and not because I'm a rude person, but because I talk to dozens of people throughout the day, every day. And if I don't monitor my time, and if I don't monitor my energy output, I'm going to end up a resentful broad. I'm going to end up a resentful old cat lady, more so than I am, sitting around knitting sweaters for my cats and bitching to thin air about how horrible everybody is. And I don't want to be that person. So, I've got to conserve energy and just make sure that my boundaries are appropriate and that, my time is sectioned out appropriately, because it's not just you that wants to have a catch up. It's not just you that needs to talk to me. I'm not saying, I'm so popular, this, that, the other. I'm saying I happen to have a job where a lot of people need to speak with me, and I need to kind of put a boundary there. My friend just used the example of, okay, what if you were a hairstylist, a massage therapist, would your family say, hey, Mom, now that you've come home from work, giving haircuts, can you give me a quick trim? It's like, no, of course they wouldn't. They would know that that was rude and that was not appropriate. But when talking and listening is your job, people don't necessarily get that. And while it might come across dismissive or abrasive or downright rude, to say, I'm not able to chat on the phone. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I got to make some time for me. Got to make some time for other activities that are important. And by the way, I have 2 other jobs that I work after my day job. That can sound abrupt. It's not, though. It's not, or rather, it's not rude. And it's not geared toward not wanting to talk to you specifically. When you work with people from different time zones, when you work, and you're open 12 hours at minimum, 10 to 10, like me, and then from 6 to 10, I work with people from other time zones, who maybe are just getting up in the morning or it's their lunch break. It's really, there's never like an off time where, like if I were a banker and I came home from work, it would be at 6 p.m. every day on the dot. I'd probably walk in the door at 6:30 and my husband would have a martini ready for me or something. And, that's just not the kind of job that I work. That's not the kind of job that I have. And, when I'm working 12-hour days plus, and literally all day, I am making decisions, advising people, talking to the point where I'm hoarse, and listening to the problems of dozens and dozens and dozens of people. A catch-up is not fun. It's not relaxing. It's not diverting. It's not in any way fun or interesting. And, it's stressful. And to add to that, I feel like my illnesses are just, they're not helping matters, basically. They make it much, much worse. I do need to be even more careful about my time and my energy and all of that fun stuff because of my health. And so when I appear, and when many of us in similar situations appear abrupt or rude or short, it's not that we don't want to, chat with you. But given, the conglomeration, the sort of meeting of all of these various issues in one life and in one day, it is absolutely, utterly exhausting. I know, and obviously I can only speak for myself, and that's why I'm asking you guys what your experiences have been as Spoonies, Maybe some of you, like I said, work in similar fields. Maybe some of you work in totally different fields and have some really different and interesting input on the matter. But when all of these issues kind of come together to compound things, I personally will notice myself feeling incredibly anxious sometimes. I'm a person. I'm not a robot, and I'll notice my heart arrhythmia starting to really bother me. I'll notice myself becoming anxious. I'll notice my asthma starting to really bother me. And, that absolutely has nothing whatever to do with not wanting to talk to friends or not wanting to catch up with people. But I have to be this, rigid guard of my energy and my health and my time. And, the fact is that, at least in my case, and again, I know a lot of my clients who struggle with similar issues and who have similar jobs feel this way too, but I feel like, I already have to really watch out for my energy and my health and symptoms acting up and just really budget my time. And so if you're not on fire, I'm not going to be able to chat with you, I'm not necessarily going to be super available to you because I've been doing this all day. This is what I do professionally. And again, just catching up on the phone after a day of being on the phone and after a day of listening to what's going on in people's minds and what's plaguing them. It's just not relaxing, fun, or, at all stress relieving to do that after work too. Like my sort of after work routine is, and again, everybody has lots of friends in this day and age with social media, so this isn't a humble brag or something, but my after work routine is work on the several writing jobs that I have, first of all. And then, if I can, once or twice a week, catch up with relatives, catch up with my absolute best friends in the world, if I can. Sometimes I can't, and they understand, thankfully. And basically cocoon myself in a little bit. Maybe, work out in my yoga swing, if I'm feeling physically up to it, play the guitar, sing, cuddle with my animals, watch Netflix, what have you, But talking to me is not relaxing, and it's not something that's fun to do. And it doesn't matter who I'm talking to so much as, is this person somebody who understands where I'm coming from, or are they somebody who is going to choose to take this personally, And if you're going to choose to take it personally, I really like how my best friend put it, that, would you ask a hairstylist, a massage therapist to, hey, give me a quick back rub, or give me a quick trim, or hey, French braid my hair, when you get home from work? Of course not, because that would be horribly stressful for them and, horribly rude. So you're not going to want to ask a counselor or a coach or, a public speaker to sit down and have a cozy chat after work. And while I don't mind people, calling me for work, I happen, especially with my illness and the brain fog and the fatigue that sets in, and plus, not having to, I'm lucky to be able to, but listening to so many people's stories and having so many details in my mind every single day, in and out, every day, every night, I'm not going to recall the details of our conversation. So for my stress level and for just, accomplishing things that need to be accomplished, I always find it better, for people to email me or text me. And again, not because I'm antisocial, but because I can only take so much every day. I can only take so much physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I can only take so much. Everybody can. And I love that people would want to even think to catch up with me. And it makes me feel so bad you can't even imagine to have to, kind of put the kibosh on that sometimes, and to turn down talking to people and to say, hey, I can't prioritize this right now. I'm really, really sorry. And I know how shitty that sounds, but I can't, I am beat and I'm really struggling here. And right now that's where I'm at. And this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Right now, that is absolutely where I'm at. I am beat. I'm flagging. I'm struggling. And today was one of those days for me that, like I said, when I saw, phone calls popping up on the screen that weren't clients, I was just going, I can't do this today. I can't do it. It's overload. It's too much, so I think also when you're constantly multitasking and constantly working, text messaging and email are really, really handy tools. They're really handy tools because you can do it while you're working. And so you can lend some time to that person that you care about in between clients very quickly at your pace, at your leisure. You can catch up with this person while attending to things that you need to attend to in order to secure your income and to secure your livelihood, right? So that is so helpful, such a helpful tool to people like me, and it's just wonderful. I can't express how wonderful the advent of texting and emailing was for me. Doing what I do, when I opened my business, that was about the time that texting was starting to become really, really popular. And it has helped my business. It's helped me to maintain social relationships. I do have several friends and associates and the like who don't really like to text, or they don't trust email, and that is understandable, totally understandable. But it's also, I've had to tell some of these folks, that's going to kind of limit how much interaction you're going to have with me. That's really going to kind of put a limit on how much we're going to be able to talk. And I know that because you're my friend, you actually do care about my mental health and my physical health. And so you're not going to want to do something that's going to make me have heart palpitations or stress out or, lose out on a work opportunity or an opportunity for some rare free time, where I can work on things I want to work on that don't have anything to do with work. I know that you wouldn't do that to me because you care about me and I care about you, but my concession, well, not concession, but my meeting in the middle, my agreement would be, we're going to have to text or voice text or email, whatever works for you. In between kind of spending time together and seeing each other. Because, like I said, the example my best friend used, are you going to go ask your friend who's a hairdresser to give you a quick trim? No, of course not. Hey, I know you just got done working, but why don't you stop on over here and give me a quick trim? I mean, heck no, thinking of it that way, it sounds super rude, right? Well, it kind of is. And, I think the best way to catch up with somebody who has a job like I have, who maybe has health issues like I have, whether they're physical health issues, whether they're mental health issues, the best way to catch up with that person is to schedule some time to go out for coffee every week. I mean, if you're averse to texting or emailing, that's the best way you can, compromise with that person and reach that person. Now, of course, if you are dealing with somebody who has their own health difficulties, you're going to want to respect the fact that once in a while they're going to have to cancel on you because they're not going to be feeling well, and that it doesn't have anything to do with you or them avoiding you or them not wanting to talk to you. It's just the nature of the beast, right? So I want to see what you guys think about all of this. What are your experiences? Do you have similar issues, similar pet peeves? And if so, are you a Spoonie? And what line of work are you in? And how does this make you feel? And what are your experiences? And, what are your relationships like? Do the people in your life pretty much understand where you're coming from and respect where you're coming from and try their best to kind of meet you in the middle? Or are they taking things poorly and not quite understanding that this might be like asking somebody who cuts hair all day to come by and give you a quick trim? So what are people's reactions? What are your thoughts and feelings? Heck, maybe you're just an introvert, or maybe you have social anxiety and maybe talking on the phone just really bothers you. But I want to hear your perspective, so feel free to comment and weigh in and let me know where you come from on this. And just one more quick, remark to anybody who's listening who knows me. I really do value you. I do want to catch up with you. I do want you in my life, but I can't do it at my expense. I don't want to do it at your expense, but I'm not going to do it at my expense either. So I think it's always good to be able to meet in the middle somewhere. And like I said, for me, that is finding a time every week or every couple weeks to meet up or get together. And I really find voice texting to be such a great option because you can do that while you're multitasking or while you're working, and you can actually spend that time with somebody, hear the other person's voice, vice versa. So that may be something that if you have somebody like me in your life, that may be something that you would want to consider. Anyway, just wanted to talk about this topic a bit and see what you all thought and what your experiences were. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be well. World serves its own needs, dummy serve your own